We're also keeping an eye, well, we're not. Matt is going to be keeping a close eye on the weather because there's some potentially dangerous and difficult conditions out there for some this morning. Morning, Matt.
Good morning. Yes, there will be for some. Others, standard wet and windy day, but we have Storm Bram with us today. Named by the Irish Weather Service yesterday, it is set to bring some heavy rain and some gusty winds across the country. Already seen some travel impacts, especially on ferry services across the Irish Sea, Scottish Islands and the fast services through the Isle of Wight. And be prepared, travel on rail could be disrupted later in some northern and western areas, so check before you travel. Where is Storm Bram right now? Well, it's this deep area of low pressure out to the west. It's throwing the rain ahead of the centre of the low pressure, where we'll see the strongest of the winds. So it really comes in a two-pronged attack, really, from Bram today. First of all, these are all the rainfall warnings out from the Met Office so far today. The amber warnings, where the greatest impacts could be across the Brecon Beacons and across Dartmoor. These warnings generally enforced now through to early afternoon for the vast majority. But then later, we got to see the wind warnings come into force more widely across northern and western areas. Biggest risk of disruption and impacts will be across the far northwest of Scotland, potentially also for Northern Ireland too.
Oh, and big scary storm behind
winds
you
as well, yeah. As if we hadn't had enough rain over the last few weeks. More to come, and because the ground's so saturated, it could enhance the risk of flooding, which otherwise you may not have noticed as much. Let's just take a look at the forecast, shall we? Very good morning. So, yes, we have Storm Bram with us through today and into tonight. It's been swinging off the Atlantic. It was named by the Irish Weather Service yesterday. Big impacts across the south and west of Northern Ireland expected. But even here, there's potential for flooding and potential for some damaging winds as well. Let's deal with the rain first of all, because that's what's with many of us at the moment. Two Met Office amber warnings out, one across Dartmoor, one across Brycheiniog in South Wales as well. They're just through the coming hours. The rainfall totals continue to mount up. Rivers will continue to rise, and I suspect flood levels will continue to lift up as well over the coming hours. The other impacts with the amber warnings will be the winds. This is the opposite end of the country, though, and later in the day. The winds will actually strengthen after the rain has eased a little bit, so the wind will be strongest tonight, potentially across north and west Scotland. Winds up to 90 miles an hour, but we could see some impacts across Northern Ireland too as we go through this afternoon and evening. There are also yellow warnings out, and don't forget, with your BBC Weather app, you can check if there's a warning in place where you are. Just go to your homepage and you can see there in the top right-hand corner, click on warnings issued, and it will take you straight to the latest warnings for your area.
And heavy rain, strong winds are causing disruption across much of the UK this morning. There's an amber weather warning issued for northwest Scotland.
Well, the Met Office has also issued danger to life rain weather warnings in parts of Wales and southwest England. Storm Bram has also caused more than 30 flood warnings to be issued, meaning flooding is expected for England. You can get all of the updates that you need on the BBC News website. But actually, if you've got Matt in the studio, you've got your own personal everything.
Yeah, Matt's here with us this morning.
Morning, Matt. It's not looking good out there, is it?
It all. It isn't great. This is the view in Newquay this morning, just a short while ago. Some pretty rough conditions around the coast as well, so that shouldn't be forgotten. But certainly, yes, Storm Bram having an impact with the risk of flooding and some strong and disruptive, even damaging winds across parts of the UK today.
Good afternoon. Well, we have Storm Bram. For us, we aren't bearing the brunt of it at all. The more poor conditions are further away in the country, but for us, it's brought quite a lot of cloud. It is breezy. Now, this is the storm moving across towards Scotland. For us, you can see there's quite a few isobars. It's breezy. We've got this cold front moving through. Now, that cold front is weakening as it heads towards us. Now, this was earlier on. Grey skies. We have had some outbreaks of rain, fairly light and fairly patchy. A few brighter spells this afternoon. As that cold front moves through, we still could get a few showers. It is very breezy, but it is exceptionally mild for December. Now,
tonight at 6, large parts of the UK are being battered by Storm Bram, with winds of up to 90 miles an hour expected. Weather warnings in place tonight, with thousands of homes without power and travel already disrupted.
Anyway, weather's a bit grotty, isn't it?
No, it's a bit nothingy, isn't it?
And it's so mild. So you put your coat on to protect you from the rain, and then you're just so hot. So we've got a nicer day tomorrow. You will be very pleased to hear. But then it goes a bit uncertain for the weekend. Let's take a little look.
Hello again. I hope you had a lovely day. Look at this robin. I wonder
what it did wrong. Very cheeky little face there. Now, the rain and wind is easing through this evening. In fact, it may already be dry where you are. It's drier and brighter into tomorrow, and then more unsettled again for Friday. So we're continuing with this mixed pattern at the moment. For the evening, lots of clear skies outside. With light winds, we're expecting those temperatures to drop a bit further, so a colder start into Thursday, and maybe some mist as well. And it's likely to turn a bit cloudier on Thursday, and then as we go into Friday and the weekend, definitely keep an eye on the forecast. That's it. I'll see you later on. Cheerio.
It's about this storm that's sweeping in.
Absolutely. Still pretty rough out there, actually, for some parts of the UK this evening. Now, Storm Bram brought a lot of rain across southwest England and Wales. That did cause some flooding in places. There are still a number of flood warnings in force. And I think now it is the strength of the wind that gives greatest cause for concern. That was the Isle of Man earlier on. But as we head into the first part of this evening, we still have this Met Office amber warning covering northern and western parts of Northern Ireland, and that is valid until 8 p.m. And then this amber warning across the northwest of Scotland. We could see wind gusts touching 90 miles per hour or more in exposed parts. That's weather warning in force into the early hours of tomorrow morning. Now into Thursday, not a bad day for many, but we do see a frontal system pushing in from the west. That will bring some outbreaks of rain, some of that rain pushing a little bit further eastwards as we get into Friday. But the good news is the winds for the end of the week will be much lighter.
Good evening. We have had a rather unsettled day of weather. It's been rather blustery and rather damp, and the skies in the most part have looked like this: overcast, grey, producing spells of rain, just brief glimpses of brightness where the cloud has broken just slightly.
And as Storm Bram continues to bring unsettled weather to the UK, how will it progress in the next 24 hours?
Alex, how long is the stormy weather expected to last?
Well, certainly over the next 12 hours or so. Still some testing conditions out there with our second named storm of the storm season. So Storm Bram was named yesterday, and it has packed a bit of a punch actually through the course of today. But it looks as though, well, so far it has been a slow start to the storm season, and probably unlikely that we'll get all the way to W to Wobbo or Wobbo. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at the current storm that we have. So Storm Bram, that's been packing a punch through today. Strongest gust of wind so far has been up to 84 miles per hour, and you can see many areas gusting in excess of 70 miles per hour. So likely we could see more disruption, and we could even see some stronger gusts as we head through the next few hours. Rainfall-wise, it has been a pretty dismal day out there, particularly out towards many western, northwestern parts of the UK and also the southwest, but we've seen 106 millimetres of rain across parts of White Barrow. Let's take a look at the pressure pattern setup and see exactly where Bram is at the moment. It's up towards the north. As you can see, isobars still very tightly packed together. The wind's still a feature as we head through the next few hours, and that's why there are Met Office warnings still very much in place, amber warnings in fact. Let's take a look at those right now and see how that's all going to pan out as we head through the next couple of days or so. So this is the current situation. Amber, rain, wind warnings in place, as you can see at the moment. Fast forward to tomorrow, and they still will be in place, particularly up towards the northwest. So as I say, more disruption is likely. Let's take a look at the forecast. Well, as we head through the next few days, well, actually towards the weekend, it stays thoroughly unsettled with low pressure never too far away. Next system to watch out for probably is on Saturday, although I don't think it will be as intense, but it still will be quite wet and windy. Certainly keep a watchful eye on the forecast, particularly if you are up towards the northwest. But conditions at the moment pretty mild, so no sign of a white Christmas at the moment.
OK, at the moment. Alex, thank you.